when offense is more required from that position. And then I guess other injuries, you got Towns playing great. You got Wiggins playing out of his mind now. Bench has been fairly good for the most part of the season. Like I said, we just got to get healthy. Rubio primarily, and then Bijelica, or however you say it, at power forward is very important to this team as well, because power forward is without question our weakest position, as well as small forward now that Wiggins has moved to the 2. So those 2 forward positions, that's where we're weak and need to get better and improved. And yeah, there's your T-Wolves update. As I mentioned, the 76ers, then going league-wide here real quick, are your only winless team at 0-15. And the Golden State Warriors are out to the best start in NBA history. That's right, in the history of the NBA, no one has started better than the Warriors have this year. The defending champs are 16-0. Holy guacamole. I want to say the most consecutive games in a row for any team in one season is 30. So they will challenge that record possibly here as well. You've got the Spurs at 11-3, kicking butt quietly in the West the way they prefer to. Thunder 9-6, Mavs 9-6, Grizzlies 8-7, all pretty much how we predicted. Clippers, after having gone like 4-0, fallen to 7-7. Wonder if they've got some injury issues there. Suns are 7-7, Jazz 6-7, T-Wolves 6-8, Nuggets 6-9, Blazers 6-10, Rockets 5-9. Wow, Rockets, Trailblazers, big disappointments this year. But definitely the Rockets bigger disappointments because they had higher expectations than the Trailblazers. Kings at 5-10, Pelicans huge disappointments at 3-11. They had playoff aspirations, still do. And the Lakers, worst team in the West at 2-12. Then out east, we've got just a whole cluster F of stuff. We got the Cavs in first at 11-3, followed by the Heat at 9-4. And your Bulls at 9-4. Wow, 1, 2, and 3 in the Eastern Conference are exactly how I predicted them already. Guess I don't know what I'm talking about. Pacers at 9-5. Hawks at 10-6. Raptors at 9-6 after a super hot start. They've cooled off. Hornets at 9-6, surprising for them. Knicks at a surprising 8-7. Kristaps Porzingis has won over the Knicks fan base that booed his selection ruthlessly already. Celtics at 7-7. Wizards at 6-6. Pistons at 7-7. Bucks at 6-8. Magic at 6-8. Nets at 3-11. So tons of 500 basketball really throughout the league, with only a few teams here and there separating themselves as being, really good above the pack or really, really crummy. Your crummy ones would be the Sixers, the Nets, the Pelicans, and the Lakers. All right. We are almost done with the show here. We have just a tiny bit of college football to squeeze in, and our Balls Deep thought of the day at just over the 2-hour mark here. All right, so almost a man of my word. College football last week, the Gophers finally got their first win of the Clays era over the Fighting Illini. Now they will play their final game of the season this Saturday at 2:30, I believe, against the rival Wisconsin Badgers for the coveted Axe. We have not had the Axe in, I want to say, over a decade. Winning this game would also make us bowl eligible. I could care less if we become bowl eligible. In fact, I don't even want a bowl game if we win this game. If we win on Saturday, beat Wisconsin, reclaim the Axe, I want that to close out this Gopher season on a 2-game win streak high note, beating the unbeatable rival that we haven't beat in the life of our memories anymore. I want that is the best possible ending to this season, not then having to go somewhere in a week before New Year's or whatever and play in some pointless frickin' bowl game halfway across the freaking country, against some team that we have no idea anything about, and could just, it's just a really sensible way for everything to get ruined and spoiled is by going to a bowl game. But so hopefully the Gophers win this week against Wisconsin, get the Axe, but get denied the bowl bid and can end this season as perfectly as possible. Now, in the world of college football, last week had a huge upset with Michigan State well, not a huge upset, but a very big, impactful upset with Michigan State beating the Ohio State Buckeyes, thus reshifting the college football landscape as we know it now for the rest of the season, which is only a week or two to go yet. 1 week of regular season, and then conference championships, I believe, would be the following week, should your conference have one. Sorry, Big 12 fans. But since we are running low on time, instead of recapping all of what happened last week, let's just get you what you need to know for this week's epic, huge college football season. All right, so Friday we have a huge football game. We have 15th ranked Navy, who is 9-1, taking on 10-1, used to be ranked Houston, and somehow Houston is a 1-point favorite, unranked, to beat 15th ranked Navy. If you're betting, if you like to bet on college football, bet Navy on that. Holy guacamole, like that, might be able to have that bet won in the first half. Or Houston wins, knocks Navy's storied season off, blah, blah, blah. 24th ranked Toledo should have an easy win over Western Michigan. 20th ranked Washington State, they're new into the top 25 here. They'll play home state rival Washington. We've got 4th ranked Iowa. Iowa is now in the top 4 with the Ohio State loss. They will be playing Nebraska. Oregon takes on Oregon State. Oregon's ranked 17th. And Baylor, 7th ranked Baylor at 9-1, takes on 19th ranked TCU at 9-2. If Baylor loses that game, I want to say that the Big 12 then is already won by Oklahoma. Now, or by the winner of Oklahoma, or no, yes, I'm not sure. Okay, so if Oklahoma wins their game, well, hold on, rewind. So those are all your Friday games, okay? Those are Friday games. A lot of good games on Friday this week. Baylor, TCU being the biggest of them all. Huge playoff implications. Baylor loses, that's a team that's eliminated from the Final Four playoff bid. If they win, however, they are going to be a monkey wrench in everyone's plans. But we've got, on Saturday now, we've got Ohio State, 8th ranked, playing 10th ranked Michigan. Wow, what a game. 10-1 versus 9-2, ultimate rivalry in college football. Your guess is as good as mine. Let's pick Michigan, huh? And that is a totally even gambling line. Wow. Very, very interesting. Ooh, here's a gambling line for you on those Friday night games. Oregon is a 35.5 point favorite over Oregon State. Oh my goodness. All right, we got number 1 ranked Clemson, should be a real easy win, 17-point favorite over South Carolina. 23rd ranked Utah in action against Colorado, should be easy. 5th ranked Michigan State. Whoever wins the Big Ten between Michigan State and Iowa will be in your Final Four playoff. So that's huge. Michigan State needs to win against an unranked but very good Penn State team at home in Michigan State to make that a possibility. But that's so. Either way, it's huge. Huge game if they win. Huge game if they lose. Northwestern at 16th ranked, taking on the Fighting Illini, who lost last week to the Gophers. So that should tell you Northwestern wins easily, even though they're only a 3.5 point favorite. 14th ranked North Carolina will take on unranked 7-4 NC State. Don't be surprised if State beats UNC in that one. UNC is a 5.5 point favorite. UNC might be for real though. Who knows? They are 10-1, ranked 14th in the country, and they always put out a ton of NFL prospects. Every freaking year they put out NFL first rounders. Number 2 ranked Alabama, now that everybody for the most part has a loss. Alabama's back up to your best or second best team. They're currently ranked number 2. Take on in-state rival Auburn. They're a 14.5 point favorite. That's an afternoon game. We got the battle for Southern California, UCLA versus USC, 8-3, 7-4. 22 ranked UCLA. That should be a fantastic game. Look for USC to win that one. I'm calling it right now. 25th ranked Temple takes on UConn. Ole Miss, 18th ranked versus 21 Mississippi State. Both 8-3. That's a phenomenal rivalry game, like evenly matched teams. Wow, doesn't get better than that. And it's straight up even. It's a straight up pick'em in Vegas. We've also got Florida State versus Florida. Florida State's ranked 13. Florida's ranked 12. All these great in-state rivalry, in-state or, border battle rivalries in college football. And they're all like with even teams and stuff to play for, man. And then in your final game, or no, your two final games, Florida State, Florida's at 6:30. And then we've got Notre Dame, ranked 6th in the country, fraud, at 9th ranked Stanford. Look for Stanford to win that game. They are a 4.5-point favorite. They will win that game and end Notre Dame's fraudulent run at the 14 playoff here. And then in the biggest game of the week, 3rd ranked Oklahoma, 10-1, takes on 11th ranked 10-1 Oklahoma State in the battle for the Big 12. Oklahoma wins and Baylor loses. Well, I want to say whoever wins this game is going to either win the Big 12 or have a share of the Big 12 with Baylor. So that Baylor TCU game Friday night is massive. So you can't get a bigger week of college football games than this coming week. Enjoy them Friday and Saturday. Again, don't miss all the great games on Friday just because you're used to having to wait until Saturday. All right, that is all the topics. Let's squeeze in Balls Deep Thought of the Day. So for Balls Deep Thought of the Day, big A topic on a lot of national as well as local sports shows, but mainly national sports shows and conglomerates, just because I wanted to use that word tonight, has been in the fuss and general dislike of Cam Newton's touchdown celebration. So just the other week, Cam Newton did a touchdown celebration after a touchdown that I talked about on the show, and it literally lasted like 15 seconds where he did 10 different celebration motions in succession. Just, he'd pause maybe a tiny bit and then do another one, and then do another one, and then do another one. And so it's been a big topic, and a lot of people can't stand it, and a lot of people don't have any problem with it at all. It's just a game. Let the guy have fun. When other people, when a guy gets a sack and does a dance, or when Aaron Rodgers does his discount double check, nobody cries. But when Cam celebrates, people cry. Is it because of a race, with Cam Newton being an African American quarterback? There's a lot of people have a pretty strong opinion on it one way or the other, and it's interesting. So here's my super quick Balls Deep Thought of the Day take, and then I want to hear yours. Let me know by tweeting me at Twitter at BDST Show. Again, that's at BDST Show. Or send me a message on Facebook. Scotty-Ball is what you search, friend, and like there. So when it comes to the douchebag that is Cam Newton, boom, that kind of sums it up right there. Cam Newton's a douchebag. I have a problem with it, and it's different than your examples, those of you who are trying to defend Cam Newton because you're biased, towards him for whatever reason. Real short and sweet and to the point. There are rules, and there are also unwritten rules, just codes of conduct, things of that nature. Both of those things are in place here and factor into my feelings. And they both lead to the same result. Cam Newton is a douchebag. Okay? When Aaron Rodgers, who I can't stand, does his discount double check, it's the one motion. It takes 1 to 2 seconds, and that's it. He does it in the direction of nobody. He aims it at no one, or he aims it at his teammates, or he aims it at the fans. That's where he aims it. Those are your two main things. The issues with Cam, and why all of us that are intelligent, good human beings, why we see through this fraud and can tell that he's just a scumbag and we don't like him one bit, is because Cam, is excessive. Like, he's overly indulgent and excessive. He doesn't just do his move. Like, he doesn't get down to his knee and rope an imaginary cattle and throw his hands in the air after 3 seconds, like Jared Allen did. He doesn't, do the discount double check belt like Rodgers does. No, he sits there and does like an entire frickin' dance line number for 5, 10, 15, 20 freaking seconds. It is the definition of the word excessive.